How to stop repeating your days and take back your life. Have you ever realized that you could lose your entire life even while you are still alive? Most people do not notice it happening. It begins quietly. A morning that feels the same. A routine that feels safe. A day that passes without leaving a single mark on your memory. One sunrise, one sunset, and nothing inside you changes. My name is Wasun. This is Learn English Listening. This is the place where we stop lying to ourselves and start paying attention to what is real. Let me paint a scene you may know too well. You open your eyes, but your chest feels heavy. You reach for your phone before you even reach for your own thoughts. The room looks the same. The morning looks the same. And a silent voice inside you whispers that today may become another day you will not remember. Let me ask you something. Where are you listening from? And which moment of your day feels painfully repeated? The walk to work, the afternoon slump, the quiet evening that feels too familiar. Everyone has a moment like this, even if they never speak about it. A repeating day is not harmless. It is a silent thief. It steals your life not through chaos, but through sameness. Through the quiet repetition of days that ask nothing from you and give nothing back. Stay with me. This may be the wake-up call you did not know you needed. There is a particular kind of pain that adults carry. It is not dramatic. It does not shout. It simply grows inside the ordinary days that pass too quickly and change nothing about who you are. You look back at a year and feel a quiet shock. You remember being busy, but you cannot remember being alive. Maybe you know this feeling. You work. You push. You handle responsibilities, yet your inner world stands still, as if your soul has been placed on pause. Time moves forward. You do not. And that gap between movement and meaning becomes the heaviest weight a person can carry. Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever looked back at an entire year and wondered what truly changed inside you? Not your job title, not your routine, not the things you bought. I mean the deeper part, the courage you gained, the fears you left behind, the dreams you moved closer to. Many people discover the painful truth. Nothing changed, and that realization hurts more than failure ever could. The fear of staying the same is one of the greatest fears of adulthood. It follows you into every morning. It whispers that you are becoming older but not becoming better. It tells you that life is moving, yet you are standing still. And sometimes you accept it, because routine feels safe, and change feels impossible. But here is the truth. You do not lose your life in one big moment. You lose it one unnoticed day at a time. One small choice to repeat. One small chance not taken. One silent acceptance that this is just how life is. You deserve more than a life that moves without meaning. You deserve days that matter. You deserve inner progress, not just outer pressure. And this is exactly where your turning point begins. Not with blame, but with awareness. Once you see the truth of your repeated days, you cannot unsee it. And awareness is the doorway to transformation. Here is the part most people never understand. Time does not truly disappear. Your brain simply stops recording the moments that look too similar. When your days repeat, your mind treats them as copies. It saves its energy by ignoring what feels predictable. Your life fades not because time speeds up, but because your brain goes quiet. There is a hidden key that explains this, and once you understand it, everything begins to make sense. The first phrase is time drift. Time drift happens when your days slide past you without leaving emotional or mental footprints. Imagine walking through fog. You move, but nothing feels real. Time drift steals meaning from your life because your brain is not capturing anything new. When your days drift, your life drifts with them. The second phrase is mental autopilot. Mental autopilot is when your brain repeats old decisions without asking what you truly want now. It keeps you tied to the same habits, the same routes, the same patterns. You may think you are choosing, but you are only repeating. Autopilot is not living. It is surviving inside yesterday's choices. The third phrase is identity anchor. An identity anchor is the old version of yourself that holds you in place. It is the quiet belief that you are the same person you were in the past. If you see yourself the same way, you will act the same way. You do not grow past your identity, you repeat it. And this anchor pulls you back every time you try to change something in your life. Here is the twist. The real problem is not your schedule. The real problem is that your identity is running on yesterday's settings. You are expecting a new life while living with old patterns. You want new results while thinking with old beliefs. And until this gap closes, time will keep slipping away, no matter how hard you try. Your freedom begins the moment you understand these truths, because awareness breaks the autopilot. Awareness interrupts the drift. Awareness loosens the anchor. And once that anchor lifts, your life can finally move. There is something else you need to understand about these patterns. They do not appear suddenly. They grow slowly inside your habits until they feel natural. Time drift begins the moment you stop noticing the world around you. Mental autopilot begins the moment you stop questioning your choices. And the identity anchor tightens each day you tell yourself that change is too hard or too late. These patterns do not trap you because you are weak. They trap you because they are quiet. Once you recognize them, you gain the power to interrupt them. When the truth finally hits you, something inside begins to shift. It is not dramatic. It does not explode like a movie scene. It arrives quietly but powerfully, like a single beam of light entering a dark room. You realize that you are not out of time. You are out of intention. Your life did not shrink because you lacked hours. It shrank because you stopped choosing your hours with purpose. Here is what most people never understand. A repeating day ends the moment you do one new thing that breaks the loop. One small change. One different choice. One breath of awareness. You do not need a perfect plan. You just need a crack in the pattern. Even the smallest crack lets light in. Imagine changing the first 5 minutes of your morning. No phone, no rush, no autopilot. Just a moment where you decide who you want to be before the world decides it for you. Imagine taking a new route to work. Not because it saves time, but because it wakes your brain up. Imagine choosing one action each day that reminds you that your life is still yours. Let me ask you something. If you could change one simple habit today, what would it be? Not tomorrow, not next month, today. The habit that whispers to you every evening, the one you know is holding you back, the one that, if changed, could open a new door in your life. Your turning point is never a big moment. It is a small act repeated on the right day, and today can be that day. A single new action can break a lifetime of repetition. A single new thought can break a lifetime of doubt. You are closer to change than you think. All you need to do is interrupt the old pattern, and once you do, your entire life begins to move again. Change often begins with something so small that no one else notices it. A new thought taken seriously. A single breath where you decide to pause before reacting. A moment in your morning when you choose presence over rush. These shifts may look insignificant, but they create a ripple inside your mind. Your awareness grows, your confidence grows, and each tiny change helps you remember that your life is not fixed. It is flexible. You are allowed to rebuild yourself one gentle step at a time, even if no one else understands it yet. You have walked through 3 truths. The truth of repeated days, the truth of drifting time, and the truth of an identity that tries to hold you where you are. Now you stand in the quiet space where change becomes possible, not through pressure, not through punishment, but through clarity. Your life does not change on some distant day in the future. It changes the moment you decide to stop repeating yourself. When you choose awareness instead of autopilot. When you choose intention instead of drift. When you choose to be present instead of numb. Growth begins the moment you stop surrendering your days to routine. Let me slow this down for you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply standing at a crossroads. One path is comfort. It is familiar. It is silent. It asks nothing from you, but it gives nothing back. The other path is growth. It is uncertain. It is uncomfortable, but it gives you your life in return. And now comes the question that matters more than any answer I could give you. At this moment, you stand between comfort and growth. Which path will you take? If this video gave you something real, share it with someone who needs encouragement. And if you want to keep walking this journey of English and inner growth, subscribe and stay with us. Your life is not meant to be a loop. It is meant to be a story. And you still have time to rewrite it starting today.